13 Ghosts is a 1960s supernatural horror film that was produced and directed by William Castle. Castle was often seen as the father of the gimmick film. Now I'm sure you may be wondering what I mean by gimmick film. Well, you see, Castle was more of a showman than he was filmmaker. He felt these little gimmicks allowed the audience to become more immersed in the movie. For example, in his 1958 film Macabre, he passed out life insurance policies to audience members, and it stated that if they died of fright, their families would receive $1,000 payouts. Another Castle production, 1959's The Tingler, Castle used a gimmick called Percepto. It was just a simple electric buzzer that was attached to the theater seat backs. But if you felt that tingle, don't scream. To do so was a death sentence. Now as for 13 Ghosts, well, this movie's gimmick was Illusiono, a special 3D viewer that allowed you to see the ghost in the movie if you dared to look. Really, it was just a piece of cheap cardboard with red and blue film, and you can actually find them on eBay for $50 or higher depending on the condition of the item. It was a great effect for its time, though the ghosts in this movie are, let's just say, lame. Now, 42 years later, the 2002 remake, now that's what I call movie ghost. They were some of the most grotesque and terrifying ghosts I have ever seen on the big screen. My personal favorite was The Torso, and if you haven't seen that film, you need to see it. Now, Castle's movies were never going to win awards for best screenplay, especially this one. This film's pacing is at warp speed with little to no exposition. It's a story of a family that inherits a haunted house from a dead uncle who the nephew thought was already dead, and the dead uncle was a wacko who collected ghosts. Pretty much sums it up. Sadly, the only way to view this film to get the most out of it is in its original Illusiono cut. Later cuts were in black and white. In those cuts, the ghosts are all but non-existent. I mean, they're there, but you really got to strain your eyes to see them. But in the end, the beauty of Castle's films was it was more of an amusement park ride than movie. Though his films were not memorable in terms of storytelling, it was his innovation and thinking outside the box that would inspire future filmmakers and even effects artists. It also changed how movies were marketed. And oh, before I forget, the Wicked Witch from The Wizard of Oz, Margaret Hamilton, oh, she's in this film. That alone makes it worth a watch.